Hollywood Squares.
And we are live.
Hey everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode of FU Live. Yes, FU, because Fandom Unlimited also stands for FU. But we don't mean the nasty FU. We mean the fandom FU, Fandom Unlimited. We're here. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. Hopefully we get some people to come in, hang out with us, talk, all about video games and movies and all that good stuff. And we do a show on the Horror Syndicate THS Discourse, and it's a lot of fun. But we have other interests. That's why you see the same group of people, minus a Nate, if you guys know the show. And we've been talking about this for a while, and now we're here, and I'm very happy about it. We're going to talk about DC fandom today. A lot of the stuff that went on at DC fandom with the couple video games announced and the trailers of the movies and that goddamn Batman trailer that was just still rocking my nuts. Well, so without further ado, we've got Jared, who is just going to sit there and look pretty tonight, probably. Say hi, Jared.
Hello. We might say some fucks, but maybe not
Whoa,
fuck
whoa,
you.
whoa. Just as long as it's not a negative FU. And then we've got Seth wearing a Batman shirt, trying to really get on my good side tonight.
Hello, everyone.
There. All right. And running the boards, we have Keith, who is wearing some weird shirt. Go ahead.
Hello.
I saw you wave your hand. Go ahead. Go.
Hello.
Say hello to the fine folks.
It is a Ninja Turtle shirt, Ray.
I see the foot.
Yeah, the foot.
So tonight, we're also going to have a friend of mine who actually helped create not the original site page, whatever, Nightfall Unlimited, which is gone now. Todd Mitchell's going to jump in and kind of give us some gaming news. He's a game developer, actually, with Code Right Play. So he'll show up in about an hour or so. This is a 6-hour show, so strap in. No, I'm joking.
I gotta eat.
I ate before the show. I came prepared. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna try to have fun. Gonna hang out, talk about some of the things, and we're gonna start off with, I guess, Gotham Knights. You want to start off there?
Yeah.
It's not based off the Arkham series, apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's in its own universe.
I guess that's kind of like Arkham Origins was the same way. It technically has nothing to do with the other 3 games, but who cares? It doesn't mind. So if you have not played Arkham Knight, spoiler alert: Batman and Bruce Wayne Manor explodes at the end. And so this, by the trailer, it starts out talking about the events that unfolded at the end of the game. So you're like, oh, cool. So this is a sequel to, but it's not a Rocksteady game, and that's part of the problem, I guess, because Rocksteady has another game coming out. The cool thing about this game is you get to play as Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, which I'm guessing is Tim Drake Robin, and then Red Hood, which personally I'm going Red Hood when I play it. And it looks like they're customizable. You can level up, and apparently the enemies level up as you level up and get more difficult. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Who else saw this and was impressed?
I'm excited for it, especially for co-op. I mean,
Yeah.
co-op and Arkham map or Gotham full open map sounds fun. And
I'm curious. Oh, sorry. I'm curious to see if it's going to be anything like the Arkham map from the Arkham series. Or, I mean, the Gotham map like the Arkham series.
I
Right.
feel like it will. They'll probably borrow assets just because it'll be easier.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm definitely going Robin. I mean,
Robin.
yeah, because he's also apparently hacked into the Justice League satellite and can teleport.
That's really cool. Which is, I think that's going to be my son, who's 11 years old. He's played all the Arkham games and better at video games than I am. He said immediately he's going to play Red Hood. So I'm actually interested in Batgirl after you get to use her in the Arkham Knight DLC. So I'll probably get a taste of all 4 of them. We do have a couple comments from Alex Ross Vanover. Says, hey guys, glad to see you all. Glad you're here with us, Alex. We knew you were going to be here because we know that you like DC Comics. And then Selena Ann Juarez says, oh my God, Gotham Knights looks so good. totally ready to pre-order already. I am too. I'm ready for a new Arkham game. Started playing Arkham Origins Saturday or Friday, one of the 2 days. It took like 1,000 hours to download, but started playing that again. And I got really excited to dive back in. The other game was Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
That
Now,
trailer was amazing.
it was crazy. It was crazy. And there, again, you got teleporting in this game with Captain Boomerang. So we didn't get to see much. It was mostly a cinematic type trailer, but you got to see, teaser. Got to see who they're targeted to kill. Which there was a poster that was kind of leaked a couple months ago, I guess, where it had Superman with the crosshairs on him. But glad to see that Deadshot's in there. I'm hoping he's playable. And I know Deathstroke technically is not a character in the Suicide Squad, but he's joined with them a few times. I hope he's playable and in the game as well.
Well, it does also take place in the Arkham universe.
Was Batman dead?
I don't know if it's before or after.
Well, I guess we'll see. I've been waiting on a Superman game, so I guess this is as close as it's gonna get. Anybody else out there excited about Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League? Let us know in the comments. And please do comment because we want to hear and read what you say and, all that good stuff. We do have Chris Halls with us. Hey, Chris. A long journey from the Horror Syndicate to Fandom Unlimited. He has made it. Let's see. Alex Ross Vanover says, I read the Suicide Squad game takes place in Arkham universe. Yes. There is a comic where it's Suicide Squad versus the Justice League that is really, really cool. And if it's anything like that, it's going to be pretty awesome. Chris says, I wish I had a console, but then I'd never get any work done. Amen. Amen. I'm the same way. It's like I got so much work to do between the Horror Syndicate and now Fandom Unlimited, and of course my comics, which I gotta brag. I just got this in today. I can't stop playing video games. Come on, too cool. So all right, let's move in to the big stuff. You guys ready for the big stuff? Seth's leaving now. This is the stuff he's brought on to talk about, and he's leaving. Oh, he's back.
Fucking dog was getting on the table.
Oh my goodness. Dog's excited about talking about maybe Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's get into this. Who is excited?
I gotta cool down.
Will we see Wonder Woman 84 this year? Because there was no release date attached, from what I remember.
I don't think so. I don't think
theaters are starting to open back up, but they want to make some bank.
I thought they had it scheduled for October or something like that. I could be wrong. Maybe they moved it again.
Not that I remember. I mean, they've moved it how many times now? 3? 2 or 3?
I mean, in my opinion, I think they would want to push it back because they want asses in the seats.
I want my ass in the seat.
But they're still going to get butts in the seats if they release Wonder Woman right now. People have been deprived of the movie theater.
Yeah. Was it originally going to be in July or earlier? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it was either June or July.
Yeah, I think it was June. And then it got pushed back to August, I think. It's just like everything else this year has been pushed back for the most part. Just like James Bond's new movie, which I'm excited about.
I feel like they're holding back a release date because they know Black Widow is going to come out soon too, and they don't want to compete with it.
Yeah, it's probably. I'm sure the announcement for the new release date, will come after the announcement of Black Widow. It's like, I wonder if they're just playing some bullshit game with us fans. But
teasing you.
Teasing, yes.
Tickling the.
Okay.
That's all.
That's all they do with us. I mean, let's admit it. Yeah, I think I'm excited about the movie. I've been excited about the movie. I'm not a huge fan of the title. It's like cool. It takes place in '84, but what does it have to be called? Is it all of 1984 also, or is it But I'm excited about the movie. I think Gal Gadot is amazing as Wonder Woman. Back when she was cast in 2014 or so, I think I was on board completely. I never said she has too small of boobs, like a lot of people did.
She doesn't have huge tracts of land like the other one.
No, but
Yes.
she's been awesome as Wonder Woman. Who didn't get excited in BVS when she saves Batman
And that
and that
score
theme?
that hops in.
Yeah.
I like that they just put her score every time she like pops up in BVS.
Look, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it says here release date October 2nd, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. October 2nd. There we go. Beating Marvel.
This is according to Google. So I don't
Okay.
know
Well,
if
I would
they
expect that.
stick with that.
I expect it to get pushed back again.
Was that Wonder Woman or Black Widow?
Wonder Woman.
I wonder what Black Widow's is then. If they've
I think
actually announced it.
Black Widow got pushed back to 2021.
Did it?
I thought so.
Okay. Well, let's win this year then, DC. Because they already have one movie out, so they're already DC 1, Marvel 0. Although Marvel does have stuff coming on Disney Plus. Is it the Falcon and Winter Soldier show still gonna
That's
happen?
supposed to be the first one that premieres, and then
The Vision and
That one
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, Wonder Woman looks great. We got my good friend Matthew Hasso says, "Yo, we talking DC fandom? Hell yeah! You're here to talk with us. You might have him on the show sometime. He's a good guy." Selena Ann Juarez says, "Don't know how I feel about the Black Widow movie, but I have really been looking forward to Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is an actual goddess. Yes, she is." Any theories
She's
before we
very
move on to
pretty.
Suicide Squad? Any theories about the Wonder Woman movie? I know that the director, she like had complete creative control and didn't add any universe building elements to the movie. Um, so that kind of messes with the timeline anyway, because she had disappeared for 100 years before coming back on BBS. So I'm curious if this is going to end up playing into the Flash movie coming up in 2022.
Possible.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Seth?
I could see that, but well, I guess it depends because in BVS she didn't know who Flash was because she looks at all the video recordings and doesn't recognize any of them. But the if the Flash movie takes place, it could be, but like that Wonder Woman BVS was before she ever met Flash in the past from him showing
Right, but
up.
that's not what he's saying though. He's talking about like because the Flash movie is supposed to be based loosely on Flashpoint,
Mm-hmm.
so everything kind of resets and changes. So maybe the effect of that made it so she didn't distance herself from society for 100 years like she
Right.
talked about in what was it, Justice League? She mentioned that.
Yeah, I think the Flash movie is going to be a big movie for this universe if they're going to continue with the DCEU. Um, Obviously, Affleck's coming back, and we're going to talk about Flash after we talk about Suicide Squad. Or let's talk about it now. We're going to talk about the Flash now. Uh, excuse me. Yeah. So because this movie does have I mean, I think it's the Snyder Cut has a big. It has a lot of weight to it as well.
We'll
But
get to that.
the Flash movie could change everything. I mean, we could get a new Batman in the end. Michael Keaton's supposed to be in it. They're bringing Affleck back. The Flash movie, it could also change the timeline completely, which it sounds like it will. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm glad we're getting a new costume. That's number one. I'm excited to see Keaton. I don't know if you guys are.
Yes.
I don't want him to be the Batman in going forward. I think that's silly, in my opinion. But not that Keaton's silly. Keaton was a great Batman. I don't know, Seth. You got any theories? I keep going to you because we've kind of chatted about this.
I do have a couple of theories, but first off, I want to say like I'm excited about what they're doing with the new Flash and bringing in Keaton and Affleck. That's great, especially as for a Batman fan. That's fantastic. I do feel like it is a misstep though to start with that type of story for the first Flash
Yeah.
movie, because even though, and we're gonna get into this later, but Justice League, even though Snyder's cut is gonna be like 4 hours long, I don't know if there's enough to really justify that as getting the audience up to date on the Flash and his character, his story, everything with the reverse Flash, and really setting up the whole Flashpoint aspect. I mean, we got little bits of it in Justice
The
League.
multiverse too, really.
Yeah. So
I think
You really think the cut's going to be that long?
it is. It's
is.
been confirmed for 1 hour episodes
Yep.
for HBO. We're getting there. We're gonna get there because that's one I really want to talk about. The Flash. So I wonder. So I think I'm gonna go way back to 2011 and Green Lantern when that came out. Okay, so it's not a great movie. I get that. People don't like it. But I also think the exposure of the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps was really small. I mean, it's kind of mostly comic book fans, you know. I knew Green Lantern, been reading Green Lantern for years, and I enjoyed the movie for the most part. So the Flash, I think they're it's going to become like a Batman thing. You don't need to do another Batman movie with his origin. I don't believe that at all. Okay, you don't need to spend 60 minutes like Christopher Nolan did on a Batman origin. Thanks to the Flash CW show, when its viewership, I think they're kind of somewhat counting on people kind of knowing who Barry Allen is a little bit moving forward and not wasting time on a lengthy ass origin story. I like origin stories, but I think we're getting to the point in time that we don't need these lengthy origin stories. I think those days are about done, which, good thing Black Widow's coming out next year with a somewhat origin story. But yeah, I think the Flash is going to change everything, and hopefully they'll move forward with the Snyderverse, if you will, with a different Batman. I don't think Affleck's going to come back. I know there's been talks about Affleck coming back and doing an HBO Max show, but I just don't see that happening. I think this is going to be his farewell. So, I'm gonna roll over to the comments before we move on, if that's okay with you guys. Sorry. Chris Hall says New Mutants is still expected coming out soon. I think it comes out next week, right?
It's supposed to come out tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. I was
thinking about going to see it tomorrow.
Hey, just social distance and wear a mask. No problem.
Wear your mask, please.
They can still sell popcorn, right? I mean, we're getting fast food restaurants have been open this whole time.
Yeah.
That's a
just make sure they're wearing gloves.
No theater. Let's see. Matthew Hasso says, and yes, Winter Soldier and Falcon are coming out this year. He says also Wonder Woman 84 looks a bit odd, but my wife wants to see it, so I'll go check it out. Come on, you're gonna watch a comic book movie. You're a comic book fan. You're gonna watch a comic book movie. Is the Flash still happening? Yes. The greatest part, one of the greatest parts about it is the director. Everybody know who the director is, right?
I do not.
Yeah, the director of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really enjoy the Ezra as the Flash. I wonder if he really choked that lady. I don't know. Let me see. Chris Hall says, is Batfleck getting HBO Max series? I don't think so. Still hope
Well,
the Snyder.
you never know, though. I mean, when
Flash versus Superman running match, I don't.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, you never know though, because when they announced that Affleck was coming back for the Flash movie, what's his name? Andy Muschietti, the director, was talking about how Ben is in a totally different place now than he was before, and he might have fun with it now, and it might, he might agree to do a couple of things for HBO Max.
It's possible.
Dog.
That would be great.
I'm not sure I like this HBO Max idea.
Why not?
I want physical media, God damn it!
You can still get physical media.
Breach.
Are they gonna give us a Blu-ray?
Snyder right now said he is in talks to try and get a full-length 4-hour version of his cut to a physical release. Obviously.
Yeah, but is it going to be 6 months, a year after it's exclusively on HBO
Max?
Max?
Probably won't be 6 months. It might be a couple months, because obviously they're going to try to get their money for HBO Max. It's the same thing with like Netflix.
How long does it take for HBO to normally get stuff on DVD and stuff? Because I know like Game of Thrones and shit like that comes out pretty
3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it doesn't usually take
just like movies.
too long.
Yeah, movies come out after the theatrical run about 3 months, right? 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna subscribe to HBO Max to watch a movie unless I get a 7-day trial. Then I'll watch
You
it
will,
fast.
but the thing is, this is going to be its answer to the Mandalorian. Is what I keep hearing is the Snyder
Right,
Cut's a 4 episode. It's going to be every week
right.
type of show. Um,
Yeah, I've already got it, so I can't say anything. I got it for
I,
free with
I
AT&T.
it doesn't come up with the Roku, so I don't have it. Not yet. I need it because I think my DC Universe app is going to be going away at some point soon. Which they should just merge it with the HBO Max and just call it Warner Brothers Max or something like that.
I could see that.
Yeah, WB Max. Alex Ross Vanover says, I love that they're bringing the multiverse to the forefront. I do too. I feel that will validate everyone's favorite Batman series, comics. They're all relevant. Yes, I like that. It was cool to see that stuff unfold in The Flash and Arrow and all that last winter. Um, Hasso's going to watch the New Mutants at a drive-in. That would be cool. I love the drive. The drive-in never dies, right?
Dude, like right now is the perfect time to start up a drive-in.
Hell yeah.
Social
I think I know
distancing.
somebody who's working at one too. I think this is from Hasso again. I think the only reason Ben could be in the Flash movie is to do that. He is back doing reshoots for Justice League. I also heard that there are no reshoots for Justice League. I heard it's all visual effects. So okay. Let's talk about the Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
So it's gonna be heavily CGI.
Yeah, I mean they're getting a new Steppenwolf. Darkseid is going to be in it. Superman suit's going to be black. Also, there'll be no scenes from Joss Whedon's movie, which is great because Ben Affleck looked like he put on some pounds when that movie was filming, or that version was filming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this becomes the definitive version of Justice League, where if there is a DCEU moving forward, this is the Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Who wants to chime in on the Justice League Snyder Cut?
Well, that trailer was freaking amazing. As soon as it started, I was like, this right here is a Zack Snyder movie. Like,
Yeah.
this. And I also like the sarcastic Hallelujah music.
Yeah, it also made me feel uncomfortable because I was taken back to Watchmen.
Oh, I was too immediately.
Well, I read something kind of recent where Snyder mentioned where it was kind of, about this thing coming true, and it also has something personal to do with his daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was they said he backed off, but I think he was fired because of the performance of BVS after they finished I think the movie was basically all done shooting, and then they brought Joss Whedon in to make it a Marvel Avengers clone. Because if you watch it side by side with the Avengers, it's very similar. Every beat was hit just like the Avengers, and I don't think that's what they had in mind, really, or what Zack had in mind anyway. Zack Snyder.
Well, yeah, well, exactly, because they started shooting Justice League like right after they got done with Batman vs Superman, and then they got all this backlash from all these fucking people who were complaining that it wasn't like a Marvel movie because it wasn't fun and lighthearted and blah blah blah. And so that's why I think they brought Joss in after Zack had to step down due to his tragedy. Is they brought Joss in knowing that he worked for Marvel before, and that's why they let him do all his reshoots instead of put together Snyder's vision that he originally had. But it kind of bit them in the ass at the same time.
Yeah. Just gonna go through a couple more comments because Chris Hall speculation is that Snyder Cut has U-Axis, which is Darkseid. Yes, I mean he was in the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, you need to check it out. It's below this video on Fandom Unlimited's Facebook page or anywhere else all over the internet. Matt Hasso asks the question before he rants: is everyone a fan of Snyder? I am.
Man.
I don't fully think he's the best thing ever, but I do think he's a good filmmaker, and I like what he was doing. It was just a little something different, and I love that he brought a somewhat comic accurate Batman as far as looks go to life. I know he killed a bunch of people, but so did Affleck. I mean, Bale. I mean,
He's
he
an
killed Talia
effective
al Ghul,
director.
so- What?
He's an effective director. Sucker
Yeah, he
Punch
is.
with
He's got a great
Fandom.
eye.
Yeah, he's a very visual director, and I have yet to hear a legit reason why he's considered to be a bad director. And if you
Yeah.
look at his stuff like 300 and The Watchmen,
Watchmen. Yeah.
he's got a very like comic book type way of framing things and way that his visuals look.
I agree.
The only one I wasn't truly impressed by of his work was Sucker Punch.
I love Sucker Punch. I love that
Yeah.
movie.
Sucker Punch was like a sucker punch. My crotch.
Right in the nuts.
Anyway, I'm excited about the Snyder Cut. I'm looking forward to seeing how different it's going to be. I don't want to wait a week for each episode. I want to see it all. I'll watch it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Zach got fired because for the bad version of the Justice League. Joss comes in to fix it, but it's unfixable. The Snyder Cut we are getting is him fixing all the things that were wrong with both versions to create a new version of the Justice League. That could be. I mean, I thought that as well. As soon as he announced it, I'm like, well, I think he said there were reshoots they were going to do originally, and now he's saying that it's just all digital effects.
Okay, well,
Because I think even Henry Cavill said,
yeah, well, at the time that his family tragedy happened, they were prepping for reshoots. Every single movie goes through reshoots. That's
yeah.
what a lot of people don't seem to understand, but they were prepping for reshoots, and then his, what happened with his daughter, and that's when they brought Joss in, and of course they were also trying to address the complaints about Batman vs Superman.
well, we'll see what happens. I'm excited about it. I mean, anytime I'm getting a new Batman or new Superman type movie, Justice League especially, because when I was growing up, all I had was Christopher Reeve Superman, and then Michael Keaton's Batman and Val Kilmer and all that. And really, can you remember being a kid and being very excited to see the Adam West 1966 Batman just pop on TV after the 700 Club? That's how it was for me. I don't remember the channel, but now there's so much more out there. I'm very excited to see this happen. Just like Star Wars. Growing up, we had A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi, and now there are 11 Star Wars movies total. It's very cool to see this stuff happening, and I try not to complain about things very much, and I did not complain about Pattinson. You can look at my Facebook feed. I did not complain about him being Batman at all. As soon as I saw somebody put up a Photoshop image of him with a cowl on, just a cowl in general, I saw the jaw. I'm like, damn, he looks good, and he's a great actor.
He is.
So anyway, with Justice League, I'm excited.
Twilight withstanding. Oh my god.
He got paid.
Oh
He
yeah.
did.
Yeah, he got paid.
He's really good in the lighthouse.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Suicide Squad if you guys are cool with that, or anything else you guys want to say. Justice League.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad it's happening. I think that Zach deserves the opportunity to finish the movie he started. He put many years of his life trying to build a specific vision of the DC universe, and he got fucked over in the long run. He should have been given time to grieve. The movie should have been put on hold, but they wanted to get that Avengers money.
Yep.
I'm looking forward.
That backfired.
I'm looking forward too, because since I watched the ultimate cut of BVS, like as soon as it went off, I was like I remembered what Justice League was because I've seen it the one time at theaters, and as soon as it ended, I was like, all right, I need Snyder's cut. Like I need the actual sequel to what this actual ending is supposed to be.
Yeah, and of course there has been 4 years since you shot it, so I mean, give an artist 4 years to make their vision better. They're gonna do it if they can, and they gave him $25+ million to do it, and AT&T's excited, and God bless AT&T at this point, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, the best thing that happened was AT&T buying Time Warner.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Uh, let's see here. We got Hasso. He says, "I like Snyder, just none of the DC stuff." Okay, that's fair. I guess. uh, let's see. Anyway, let's keep moving. Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad with James Gunn saying it's the biggest movie he's ever made. First of all, let me come right out and say I like the first Suicide Squad movie. It was too many. I mean, I think they blew most of their budget on music, but overall, it wasn't a bad movie to me. This one looks ridiculous, not in a bad way.
It looks
James
over the
Gunn
top in a good
ridiculous.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks over the top in a good way.
it does. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of I bet most of these characters are cannon fodder,
Oh yeah.
but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna see a lot of cool scenes. Captain Boomerang looks like he's actually gonna throw his boomerangs more than once, maybe. Uh, I don't know. Give me some thoughts, guys.
I've been excited since way before when it was announced he was directing it, and then we got that cast list. Probably hell, it was probably like a year ago almost.
The 6-page cast list, yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw that, I was excited mostly because Nathan Fillion and Peter Capaldi, because they don't get to do anything hardly, and I'm just excited to see them in a movie, especially with James Gunn directing them.
Yep. Nathan and James worked on Slither. Yeah, that's a nice come back together.
Then also, I didn't know John Cena was going to be in it until that trailer popped.
Douchey Captain America.
It looks great.
Yeah, it does. It looks like fun. I wonder if it's an actual sequel to the other movie, which it could be with two of the characters returning. Is it just two? It's Captain Boomerang and Harley.
Yeah, I believe so.
Rick Flag. Rick Flag.
Rick
Yeah.
Flag. I really do not like that actor.
Ah, what?
Yeah, I hate
love
him.
Joel Kinnaman.
I think he's an awful actor.
I
think
love
he's
him.
terrible.
You ever seen The Killing? 'Cause that's his best role.
He's got a best role.
Yeah, The Killing.
I think he's a terrible actor. He's very stiff, and I don't like him.
Having Idris Elba play that character kind of twists it a little bit.
He's gonna be a character that I've not heard of I've heard of but not heard from in years. Bloodsport.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. I'm glad they didn't recast him as Deadshot, which leaves Will Smith the opening to come back in if he ever wants to, which will be great, in my opinion. So this looks like fun. I'm actually after seeing the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie that came out before the pandemic, I'm really excited to see more Margot Robbie, because I think I'm starting to really believe she was born to play Harley Quinn. What do you guys think about this movie? Seth, what about you? Jared, you're
I'm looking forward to it. It
I
actually
don't get to talk.
sorry, go ahead.
No.
I said you first, and then he goes after you.
Oh.
I'm making a lineup.
Oh. So I actually my youngest daughter loves Suicide Squad, the first movie, like to the point where she obsessively watches it. And I got her a couple of the trade paperbacks of the old school Suicide Squad comics. And from everything I've seen of this new movie, it looks like directly from those old comics. I mean,
John Ostrander stuff. I've got some.
yeah. I mean, not only with, Rick Flags wearing the yellow shirt, just
Some old Suicide Squad.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look here, the logo there.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, Rick Flag wearing the he's and they're very costume accurate, which I love.
Yeah.
That's something that's really hard to do from comic to movie. And yeah, he's wearing his stupid yellow shirt.
I think James Gunn is a better director than David Ayer. So
Nah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun movie. James Gunn is the right guy for the job. Jared, you're a James Gunn fan. Enlighten us.
I am. He's come a long way from Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be bouncing right back to Guardians of the Galaxy shortly after this,
Oh yeah, for sure.
which is good. I don't see why it's such a sin. A guy can make a Marvel movie. A guy can make a DC movie. You know, they've already crossed that threshold with Joss Whedon. Uh, I think I think for a group movie like this, James Gunn could probably make a fun Justice League movie with the Injustice League. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to get more Margot Robbie. I'd really like to see her in a Batman movie though, but I don't know. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Um, David Dashmalchian. I can't. I don't know. He's playing Polka Dot Man. I can't pronounce his name. Uh, he's been. He is going to be very interesting. This is from Selena. He has been in Marvel and DC. He was also in The Dark Knight. If nobody knew that, he was in The Dark Knight as that police officer that helped shoot Gordon, or the Gordon and the mayor and all that. Chris Hall says the Suicide version with the extended Joker scenes actually made his part so much better. Actually, I think they need to release an air cut of the Suicide Squad movie from 2016
Please.
because there are many scenes missing with the Joker, and I'd like to see them. As much as I'm not a fan of that Joker, I'd like to see those scenes that were cut because if you watch all the trailers that were released, there are many scenes, and even Jared Leto, whatever, says that his huge chunk of his movie was cut.
He said there's enough shots of him as Joker to just have a full runtime of a movie.
We don't need that.
I'd be curious to see how that movie would be if it edited, how it was originally envisioned by Ayer, because that movie was changed after the trailer leaked for it, and they had a really fun trailer with some music, but people responded to that, and then Warner Brothers wanted to make sure that that's what the film was. So I'm just curious about how the editing and sound design and how the story would have unfolded if it wasn't dictated by that trailer.
Yeah, I wish companies wouldn't just immediately try to change something because people are reacting to a trailer. Like, you'd figure they'd be smart enough to just go like, they're reacting to a trailer, guys. Calm down. They haven't seen the movie.
I think we've learned now that Warner Brothers is a reactionary company. I mean, that's how they've been. You know, they're reacting even still. The everything I've read or heard anything about the Snyder Cut being a possibility from AT&T and Warner is because of The Mandalorian, which they're reacting to how great Disney Plus did before their streaming app, and that's part of the driving force of getting the Snyder Cut on HBO Max, and that's probably why if it does get a physical release, it'll be a while because they want to get their subscriptions, just like we want to get our subscriptions. So now's the time to go to our YouTube channel, Fandom Unlimited, and subscribe to the channel because we're going to put up all kinds of content, including videos of me doing a snap and appearing up here. That was stupid, but I hope you all liked it. Anyway, so moving on. What else? What are we missing? I know of one that we're missing for sure. Are we missing anything else? Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam.
Okay.
That was just like, they were just like, we have to show them something. Let's make an animated trailer.
I do not give one shit about this movie. I'm not going to lie. I love The Rock. I think he's going to be cast great as Black Adam, but I'd really rather see Black Adam pop up in a Shazam movie, not his own movie. It makes no sense to me. It makes as much sense to me as the making a movie about the damn trench from Aquaman. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The only reason it makes sense is because it's The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson. They need to give him a full movie instead of just making him a villain in Shazam. So I'm hoping in this one we get to see Shazam at least, and maybe Superman, because there's a great DC animated short that has Shazam, Superman versus Black Adam, and it's really, really cool. Let's hear your thoughts.
I mean, I'm excited for it just because The Rock hasn't really got to do anything like this. I mean, he's one of the. I mean, as much as people don't like some of his movies, like, he is one of the biggest stars right now. Like, I feel like every time I turn around, he's in another freaking movie. and he is. I think he's funny. I think he's charismatic.
Yeah, but the Black Adam is neither of those.
True, but that doesn't mean he's going to play him like that. I think he's going to be.
I hope he
true
plays him
on
exactly the same
serious.
as the Scorpion King.
That'd be great.
Not Fast and the Furious 17.
Jesus. Yeah, I think he's going to be completely serious and be a tough guy, not.
It seems like a dark storyline for sure. Just from seeing it.
I'm a little concerned that with the casting of him, that they're gonna try to turn him into an anti-hero instead of the villain that he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be Captain Marvel's villain, you know?
Right? Exactly. And well, it's Shazam now. It's no longer Captain Marvel.
I know, but he came first.
I that's what he should be. He shouldn't be an anti-hero, or like I guess maybe they're looking at Venom and thinking it could be a movie like a Venom, which, tell me to be honest, it was dog shit to me. So I'm not a big Tom Hardy guy. Sorry. He looks
blah
weird.
blah your
blah,
face.
Blah blah blah.
Tom Hardy is great. Move on. We're moving on.
I think Black Adam should be a villain, and that's it. There is a storyline 1 year later where he kind of became somewhat a hero. ISIS came back and all this good stuff, and came out in 2006 when after the events of hold on.
So this is very interesting to me because I'm not familiar with the Black Adam.
After the events of Infinite Crisis, he kind of did the hero thing for a little bit, but then all the heroes, Batman, Superman, Wonder, they all came back. So it was squashed after that. So anyway, I don't care about this movie. I'll see it eventually. I think I want to see it expanded in Shazam, and that's it. You know, it should be in Shazam, teased in Shazam 2 for the third movie. Anyway.
The cool thing though is that apparently it's going to have the Justice Society in it, so it'll be interesting seeing like Hawkman and some of them.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'm waiting.
So is this going to be set before all this other stuff, like what kind of like Wonder Woman was?
I believe so. That's what it kind of seems like.
It could be literally an origin story.
Well, with the inclusion of the Justice Society, I'm assuming that it's in the past.
God, are we gonna get Alan Scott? Are we gonna get Jay Garrick? I mean,
that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be great. I will see. When a real trailer comes out and we start seeing real stuff for it, I'll get more excited. I hope it does tie into the current Shazam movie though, because Shazam was a lot of fun. I thought really fun movie. My kids like it. I love it. It deserved more money than it actually got. Matthew also says it's only been 7 years since he was cast. Yeah, that's true. So the last thing we're going to talk about with this before we get to Todd is the big one for me. Even though the Snyder Cut was a big one for me, but let's dive into the Batman. How kick-ass was that trailer?
It's amazing. Music choice perfection.
And considering the fact that trailer, like they only shot 25% of that movie.
That's right.
And that's what that trailer was. It's like, holy fuck, what else do they have in store for us?
Like, oh my God, what are they gonna like? There are people complaining, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There are people bitching about. I don't know what they're. You know why? Because I'm deaf to that right now. Because I'm seeing a dark Batman who beat the living shit out of a painted face penguin thug. Love that. By the way, it's not set in the 90s. I thought it was, but it's not. There's an iPhone present in the movie, so it could maybe it's 2009. It could be the iPhone 1.
So there's already people apparently decrypting the Riddler or not Riddler code inside the like greeting card.
Yeah, it's something about lying. It's So let's break down the trailer real fast. Not like complete breakdown, but 25% of the movie's finished. We got to see, the Zodiac. I mean, the Riddler, more than likely. Who it reminds me of the Zodiac. I mean, am I wrong in saying that? If anybody knows anything about the Zodiac, I mean, he's got a bag over his head, kind of. with glasses. He's got he's sending notes kind of like with the riddles, which is Riddler, of course, but Zodiac kind of did the same thing with the codes and decryption type stuff. Um, Pattinson looks great. That fucking costume, I hated it. That was my biggest complaint whenever I first saw the costume. Was I was like, this, it just kind of reminds me of an Arkham verse, almost like a Nolan type bat suit, which the Nolan suits were my least favorite. But man, it looks great on screen. And you know who I'm very impressed by, and I wasn't against this initially, was Jeffrey Wright. Looks great as Gordon.
Hmm.
He looks great. So people are also bitching about Catwoman. It's like this is early on in her career, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for I cannot remember his name, but the guy who was playing the Riddler, because he was
Paul Dano.
yeah, like because it looks like they're going kind of like a serial killerish route, and all I can picture is his
Seven.
character in Prisoners, where
Mm.
he's like very weird and like antisocial and awkward.
He seems like he's like that. Yeah, it had a. I mean, I think Nathan said this to us in our group chat. It had a very David Fincher
Hmm.
type of feel to it, which was great. It did it that scene with the tape and everything looked like it was John Doe setting up a scene from Seven to me, which is great. I really wish it looked like it was the '90s, but I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what else they shoot. We got to see a lot though. We got to see Colin Farrell. We got to see the funeral that I've been hearing so much about, which I'm thinking is the mayor. I'm not 100% sure. And okay, guys, stop me.
The
I'm gonna keep going.
unrecognizable Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going if you guys don't stop me.
I'm fine with that. The
Ha-
Batmobile is
Have you
amazing.
guys have any of you guys watched the fandom panel with director Matt Reeves talking about the movie?
I didn't. What did he say? Enlighten me.
Oh man, he said a lot.
Enlighten me.
I'll have to send you a link. It's on YouTube, but like he was talking about how he didn't want to do an origin story, so this is year two Batman, and he's gonna fail. It's gonna be very flawed, and he said one of the non-Batman movies that inspired it or stories that inspired it was like Chinatown. And so this
Yeah.
movie is ultimately going to be a mystery. It's going to be Batman as a detective
An actual detective for once.
trying to solve a mystery that kind of unravels like how corrupt Gotham is, and with the politicians and the police and all that. So it's going to be like this really neat crime thriller
It's gonna be a Batman noir.
with
Kind of like he realizes the big picture.
Until he realizes he has to collect 500 Riddler trophies to end the movie.
Oh my god. Those fucking trophies. Fuck that game. I'll be right back.
I love that game.
I do too. I'm super excited for this movie. I also love the Batmobile. I like the whole muscle car looking thing, especially like if it's like like you said, it's a year two Batman. Like maybe he doesn't have his parents' money yet. I mean, I guess he has some money, but it seems like he's kind of like hobbying stuff together instead of just like buying high tech gear. But
I think
maybe that's because he's trying to stay under the radar. He can't order and spend all this money on stuff because he'll
well,
just get
yeah,
found out.
well, he's figuring out how to be Batman. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
not quite as what Matt Reeves says is not quite the character that we all know and love. Right
Well,
yet.
even
He's building towards it like a normal human being would.
Robert Pattinson said something along those lines too. One of the things, there's some of the things about the movie that we get just a glimpse of, like, is that the Batcave in the like the Batcave looks fantastic. It's so cool in my opinion. It doesn't look like he had to build everything, because you always wonder like who built the Batcave. Was it just Bruce and Alfred? It looks really really great. I like everything I've seen so far. Um, the Batman. Chris Hall says the Batman trailer was the Batman trailer was pants shittingly good.
Pants. Oh, that's a nice
Hashtag pants shittingly good. Let's make that a thing. Uh,
reference.
Selena Juarez says, I said on the actual video on this page, but I truly hope the big villain isn't the Joker. Well, it's the Riddler. we know that's going to be the Riddler, but and the Penguins in it and Catwoman. But I think they're going to do something different than what we usually see, where they all team up or whatever. I think it's going to be building towards a big third movie because this will be a trilogy, from what I understand.
You think
Uh,
possible that they're going to build towards the Court of Owls?
I'll get to that in a second because Hasso said
God.
something about that. He also says what I hate is people bitching about the black around his eyes and wearing guy liner. You know, I thought that was a great piece at the end of the trailer. You get to see that. It takes me back to Arrow, but you remember in Batman Returns when Batman rips the mask off right before his eyeliner's gone, so he can show that he didn't have it. I don't need to have the white lenses in. I'm not a huge fan of that for movies. I like being able to see their eyes because you can see a lot of emotion through eyes even with the black eyeliner. Um, oh, here we go. The owls are seen in the trailer as well. This is from Hasso. In the shot when Batman is flying up with the grapple, you see one on the balcony behind him. I'm gonna have to. That's eagle eye shit right there, Mr. Hasso. Look and then double check because we were examining a shot where Batman got shot and it almost looked like he had the yellow emblem like on Seth's shirt because he is going to get a different costume from what we understand. And rumor is that when there's an explosion in the at the I think that's the funeral is when his costume's going to get destroyed. His costume's going to get destroyed. He's going to have to get a new one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm Frank for I can't even talk about how excited I am for this movie. Pattinson looks great. Everybody looks great. They're talking about borrowing from so many great, but they've said that before, the Long Halloween and Year One and all this other stuff. But there have been pumpkins spotted on set, so maybe we're gonna get a little Long Halloween in there. That is in my opinion, the best Batman graphic novel comic story of all time. Which if you haven't read it, I suggest reading it immediately. I'm rereading it now, and let me tell you something. It's like reading it for the first time again.
So I have to interject. Like watching the trailer, I've watched it like 4 or 5 times now.
Those
So
are
the
rookie
You only
goon,
need about
numbers.
80 more times to catch up to me.
the goons, like when he beats up that guy, you think he's like those guys are part of Penguin's goons.
Yes, black and white. There's black and white, and Penguin's established. It's Penguin goons for sure. Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have Catwoman and the question marks that come up at the end. You get the Riddler vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Yeah, absolute Riddler. Absolutely, it's the Penguin. Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin. He's not playing King Penguin or whatever it was, or Emperor Penguin.
I mean, he's probably just gonna be like a club owner.
I don't. Well, maybe. I think he's going to end up
like
running for
Gotham.
mayor. I think they're going to kill the mayor, and I think he's going to end up running for mayor, like kind of like. We've seen it a few times in
the TV show Gotham.
Yeah, that show's trash.
The Penguin ran for mayor and he won.
Yeah, that show's still garbage. So it's never good.
That's another thing that Matt Reeves talked about is like as far as the Penguin goes, like he's not quite the kingpin of Gotham that he is, and he is being called the Penguin, but he hates being called the Penguin, and like he basically said that like all the villains we meet, it's like they're starting out as villains, so they're not, they're building towards them all becoming like the Riddler, becoming the Riddler, stuff like that.
Just touching on the Gotham TV show.
Hasso just sent me a picture of that scene, and he's goddamn right. Good eye. It does look like a Court of Owls mask. I have got goosebumps all over my body right now. Okay, I got them all over my body. My son just read the first graphic novel, The Court of Owls. I'm like, you need to read comics. He's like, why? I was like, they're good. He read it in like an hour and a half. Brings down. This was amazing. I was like, I know. Here's the second one.
May I have another, sir?
Yeah. Hasso, you always get me right in the feels, my friend. Oh, whew. So we're gonna bring Todd into the show in just a minute. I gotta send him the link. We'll get back. Todd's gonna come in and talk about some gaming news, and we're gonna do this every now and again. Have somebody come in that's not us, talk for a few minutes about comics or gaming. I've got a few guys lined up. I sent Todd the link, so we'll let him jump in whenever he's ready. Give me just a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
So
More talking.
Which movie are you guys most excited to see out of all the DC stuff?
Gal Gadot is hot.
Wonder Woman. From it's Batman.
Batman.
Originally going into this, all I wanted was more Snyder cut stuff, but yeah, the Batman is the one. And you watching at home, let us know what the movie itching like a crack at. Which movie you want? Which
Calm
movie
down,
are you excited to
calm
have?
down there, Weasel.
Batman for me as well.
Yeah.
Mine's Batman, but I am super excited for Suicide Squad.
Oh, I think they are like shooting again because I saw some leaks today for the Batman. They were towing the Batmobile somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
They had two on set too. Like one's their stunt car and one's their like pretty camera car.
All right, so I'm gonna add Todd now. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Todd's gonna join for a few minutes and tell us about some good old gaming. It sounds like war, really. And he's here. Todd, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you, sir?
Oh, you know what? I'm great. We have been talking about DC fandom, and I'm glad to see you, our support of the Black Suit Superman. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Todd, this is the gang. We've got Keith in the blue shirt.
Hello.
Seth, you didn't have to say hello. Seth in the Batman shirt, and Jared wearing another Superman shirt.
Hey, guys. Yeah, my son's wearing his Batman shirt today, too.
Oh, man. You guys having beef?
No, I thought I would join up and we would do his kindergarten Zoom calls this way today.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us, Todd?
We've had quite a time. So a couple of things going on in the gaming world. Sort of depends on what you're interested in, but there's Gamescom 2020 going on right now. That's a big conference, and it's happening online, of course. Not a whole lot of news because it just started. So also had the Flight Simulator launch this week, which I'm dying to play, but I can't start the download. My computer is not going for it so far. So
Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, and then the rest is all courtroom drama between Apple, Epic, and now Microsoft as well. So,
yeah, what's going on?
Well, so do we have any Fortnite players in the house?
Unfortunately, I played that game one time and lost my mind.
Lost your mind? How did it go for you?
Well, I mean, I just died a lot. I sat there and watched my son play, and this kid's an expert. He's he goes around building stuff or whatever it is. I can't figure out what I'm doing in that game, but I see him playing, and I'm like, oh, I can do this. No, I can't. It went terribly bad for me, and I'm downstairs, he's upstairs. We're playing on the same map or whatever it's called, and all he can hear is, hey, why are you cussing so much? Oh, I keep dying. That's why.
I fell for the same trap. I looked at it. I watched some other streams. I had friends playing it, and I went, this is definitely something I can do. This is the kind of game I can play. And I streamed my very first attempt, and I hope I deleted that successfully because it was very ugly.
Is it as good as your first Five Nights at Freddy's stream?
That stream was very popular.
Yeah.
And the only criticism I had of that was somebody went, this wasn't fun to watch because he didn't freak out enough. So, but so as for what's actually going on with this whole Fortnite thing,
that was a good time.
Are you guys familiar with the Microsoft xCloud service that's coming up?
I am.
Ray, how about you? Ray's jumping around on my screen. You hear me, Ray?
My bandwidth's getting shitty. So I didn't hear what you said.
Do you know about this Microsoft xCloud service that's coming up next month?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Very little.
For listeners unfamiliar, because it's still a pretty brand new thing, and it's like competitive services in some ways and unlike competitive services in others. But the idea is Microsoft announced that in about 2 weeks, they're going to launch this service that will let you basically dial up a game that they're maintaining on their servers, their devices. You don't have to do the giant install or, make room for it on your hard drive. they will let you play from their cool machines, and you can stream to all kinds of devices and play the game with an Xbox controller on, grandma's laptop or an Android phone or whatever. That was the big draw of this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So they immediately said, any device. You'll be able to do this on any device, any smartphone. And I listened to that and I went, I bet that's not right. because because Apple exists. And if you know anything about Apple, this has been a complaint for more than 10 years now. They have to very carefully manage any app that has access to the two players. If they can't completely control that, vet it through their own rigorous process, they're not going to go for it. And I went, I can't imagine any way they're going to let Microsoft release this xCloud app that they want to put in the App Store. Lo and behold, as we're ramping up to this big release, Apple goes, oh, no, you should have asked us sooner. No, we're not allowing that.
Of course.
So I had to laugh. And I'm an Xbox guy. I have an iPhone. I have every reason to want this to succeed. I just knew it wasn't going to. I knew it wasn't going to happen. So this started by Apple basically pissing off Microsoft about the App Store thing. And it's nothing new. Like I said, this has been around forever. So Fortnite at some point makes the jump from PC and consoles to smartphones. This has been a while ago now. There were some hoops to jump through, but they got Fortnite going on the Google Play Store and the Apple iOS Store. And it seemed like everybody was living harmoniously for some time. But if you know anything about Epic's CEO, Tim Sweeney, is kind of a quirky guy. He's an old programmer from way back.
Is that the nice way of saying it, or is it the professional way of saying it?
I'm being nice. I have a sort of a harsh personal opinion of him because I'm a programmer. He's a programmer. I think he makes us all look a little bit crazy. But he's been known to occasionally sort of rail against the man if platforms aren't open to his liking and you can't develop for Windows the way he wants to and stuff. So at some point, like literally in the middle of the night one night, he blasts off this email to Apple and goes, hey, you guys are taking 30% of our microtransactions. Fortnite's a free game to download and play. You can download microtransaction points for like cosmetic items, and you can buy their season pass if you want. So Apple's only way to make money off Fortnite existing on its platform is to take its traditional 30% of these little transactions here and there. Tim Sweeney is literally losing sleep at night one night because he wants that 30% back, and he goes, look, I'd like to come to a different arrangement with you guys where you allow me to process these payments in a different way, and in return, we just give you nothing. It's like he felt that Fortnite being on the iPhone at all was enough in return. So Apple goes, as Apple does, they go, yeah, well, no, thanks for the email, but we're not going to do that. And so you can give us our cut, or we're just going to boot you, basically. And within hours of them, so Fortnite drops a new update on Google Play and Apple that circumvents their payment system. They go totally rogue. They start accepting payments directly from players, and they circumvent these payment processes on both mobile phones. And this is what nobody's talking about. Google did all the same things. They got updated there. They went, hey, you can't do this. Both app stores dropped Fortnite right away. Just booted the apps. So within hours, Epic sues both companies. Like they had the lawsuits filed and ready to go. And this dude is having this high profile meltdown. It's just been the craziest thing. So Apple, instead of backpedaling like he thought they were going to, they went, okay, well, not only is Fortnite not coming back in the store, you have a very short period of time before we cancel all of our business agreements with Epic. And what you have to know about Epic is, Ray, you know Epic's work because you like Gears of War,
right?
And a lot of other stuff. I'm an old Unreal Tournament fan from way back in the day. Epic's done a lot of really cool stuff.
School right there.
Yeah. Right. Epic also has the Unreal Engine, which is used by developers of all sizes all over the
so
world.
many these days.
A lot of
A ton.
games.
If it's not
Yes.
in Unity, it's basically in Unreal now.
Yep.
So Apple goes, you've got a very short period of time to rectify this, or we are going to cancel that support too, and you will no longer be able to target. The Unreal Engine will no longer support Apple devices, and that
Crap.
now we're talking very high stakes, big trouble. And one of the last things to happen was Epic tried to file a restraining order to prevent them from doing that. So far, the judge is actually sort of leaning in Apple's direction on some of these early motions. They're saying like Apple doesn't really have to do anything you say right now. And the only interesting thing to happen since then is Microsoft entered a filing on behalf of Epic, their general manager of like external developer studio experiences. It's a super weird title, but a guy by the name of Kevin Gamble, excuse me, who managed the Xbox One X launch and who I interviewed at GDC 2018. He was the last guy I talked to, and he was on the podcast on Game Dev Breakdown. He wrote this filing on behalf of Epic saying how important Epic is and how this ecosystem is threatened by Apple. Well, it's because they pissed Microsoft off like 2 weeks ago. So we're very early on in this, but it's actually like there's a lot of money, a lot of developers, a lot of games hanging in the balance. We've not really seen anything quite like this. And personally, I would like to see Apple sort of change its ways a little bit. I think it's somewhat unlikely unless a judge does step in and say, you need to create an alternative app store or something. But I really think Tim Sweeney's just kind of having a meltdown and he's stamping his feet and he's sort of wrecking the industry right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And plus, you have millions of mobile players just sitting there, can't get on their Fortnite, who have spent countless amounts of money on skins and coins and season passes.
Exactly right. I think that new next season launched today, and so today is the first day those players are left in the dust. I mean, they're sitting around on all sorts of virtual points or whatever, and they can't spend them on anything right now.
Millions of people, I'm sure.
A lot of kids.
Right.
The other weird thing is Epic is trying to mobilize kids against Apple, and I'm like, what
so
benefit?
The revolution starts today.
Right. They're literally acting like that. I'm like, what do you hope to gain from this? This looks super weird. And these kids cannot do anything except for complain to their parents. You're going to make the parents hate you.
All I'm picturing right now is like a suburb, and all the suburban kids start coming outside, and all the parents think their kids have been abducted by aliens, but it's because Fortnite doesn't work anymore on their phone.
Right. Parents standing in the streets. What the hell's going on? Yeah.
Our babysitter isn't working right now.
Yeah. Fortnite, which was supposed to be raising our kids during this pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's fighting back.
I managed to get through that hopefully quickly enough because it's a mess. But that's
like
where the game industry stands right now. There have been a few cool games to come out and stuff like that. Everyone's jazzed about Flight Simulator and Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Yet, but
Fall
everyone
Guys is great.
The devs seem super cool on Twitter. Like I've followed a couple of their guys. Like everybody, you love to see it, you know.
It's a super fun game. Definitely get it. It's also enraging if you like being enraged.
If you like games with friends and rage, then Fall Guys.
Where can you find Fall Guy?
It's on consoles and it's on PC. It seems to be everywhere but mobile, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on Switch, but yeah, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. I don't know about Epic Games.
So all the big boy systems, basically. And I say that as a Switch owner also. But I'm behind on my Switch plans, so that's games here lately. I mean, what are you guys playing lately?
Well, you know, DC Fandom kicked off, had a big show on Saturday, and so we talked about the new Rocksteady game, the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and then the other one, Gotham Knights.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And so I started playing Arkham Origins again, even though I still haven't finished Red Dead fully.
I was just thinking I was going to do that. I was like, now is the time to finish my run through. I did not finish the last Arkham game. And, you know, I can start with the re-released, remastered, you know, whatever stuff and see that. And then hopefully be ready in time and move straight into this new one, which looks very good so far.
Yeah, I'm still pumping my way through Last of Us 2. Still haven't beat the
Yeah.
freaking thing.
That's another very highly acclaimed game that everyone seems to love.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I thought I'd get to talk about Flight Simulator news, but a lot of people are saying for whatever reason they either can't download or can't install, and that's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot lately.
But it's going to come to Xbox, and actually, this xCloud thing does sound like it's going to be, Apple notwithstanding, it sounds like it's going to be pretty good, because if you are a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber and you're paying the $15 a month to have your Xbox Live and your Game Pass and everything rolled into it, you're going to get that on your account as well. So that's the first one I think is going to be really worth it. Stadia doesn't seem to have enough to offer yet, but the Xbox one, if they keep a good library like they do for Game Pass, it's going to be great.
Yeah, Stadia came out and then just kind of like died.
Google does that, man. They will put stuff out and then they're like, yeah, this is something we have and we keep it in a closet and we don't talk about it.
That's what Google's been doing since their existence. I mean, not just gaming. I mean, mobile phones and Google Hangouts. I mean, Google comes up with these ideas. What was the other one? Google Plus, the one that
oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Google does that. So anyway, Todd, thanks for coming on. Where can we find you? Can you go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug?
Sure, yeah. I do the Game Dev Breakdown podcast. We just had our 100th episode last week. So this one tomorrow will be 101. And if you are interested beyond that, I do show notes and stuff at codewriteplay.com. So those are the places to find me. So welcome back, guys. This seems awesome, and I'm looking forward to following this along.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Hopefully, we're gonna try to get you a little segment every week if we can do that. If you're up for it.
I'm into that, and I streamed part of this on my Twitter account. So you Twitter fans, go jump over to the Facebook side and catch the rest of the show with these guys.
Sweet, thank you.
Looks like
Yeah,
one. It might
appreciate
just be me, but if anyone's there,
There are people watching, I think.
yeah,
Anyway, Todd, hopefully we'll hear from you next week. Can we set you up?
yeah. Let's call it a thing, and I'll look forward to it.
Awesome. All right, thanks. That's Todd Mitchell, Code Right Play. What is the Game Dev Breakdown? Is that what we're
Game Dev
calling it?
Breakdown is the podcast. Yes, sir.
I'm having some bandwidth problems here right now.
I can tell.
Kids off the
It's-
Xbox.
I'll get off, and maybe that'll be better. I'll see you guys.
So yeah.
Night. He's out.
All right, that was Todd Mitchell. He's a good friend of mine. He actually, old comic book partner. He created Nightfall Unlimited with me, and we actually created some comic book work together. Great dude. So I think, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I'm having bandwidth issues.
Well, I didn't get to jump in on the Wonder Woman talk, but
Oh, please do.
yeah, I think
Please
that
do.
looks really good. I enjoyed the first movie. I think she does a really good job as that character, and I was curious about how Steve Trevor is coming back into it, and we kind of got some clues with what's his name, Pedro Pascal. Is that the actor's
Pedro
name?
Pascal. Yeah.
He's playing what, Maxwell Lord or something like that.
Mhm.
So I think my theory is that he's going to be through the whole movie, but with defeating Maxwell Lord, he's going to go bye-bye again. Because, the whole concept from both of the trailers is that he's making wishes come true. He's giving people whatever they want, and obviously she's still pining for him. Pun. But I know.
I got
Just
that.
pining for him.
I got that.
Bad joke. But I think that when he's defeated, everything's going to get reversed, and then he's not going to be there anymore. It'll go back to the regular continuity. But I think that looks really good. I want to see that.
Well, it does look good, and I hate to say this, but I think Chris Pine has been wasted in this series. I wish they would have gotten somebody else to play Steve Trevor, because he, in my opinion, would have been a great Hal Jordan.
Well, that's funny, because I read a while back that he had a choice between Green Lantern or Steve Trevor, and he chose Steve Trevor.
Why?
That sounds bad for the wallet.
Maybe because it was a smaller commitment.
It could be. Maybe he doesn't want to do as much anymore.
Or he looked at the other Green Lantern movie and it was bombed and was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
That movie has love, damn it.
It does.
That could be too.
I do.
I think
like
people
it.
need to take another look at that movie.
But I mean, he could have also
Yeah.
looked at the script for
So-
first Wonder Woman because, like, he had a pretty good arc and his death was pretty powerful.
Yeah, he did.
You know, so
It's
Yeah.
true. And plus, that was, I think it's still the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes too.
probably.
I don't know.
Say, is there
So,
any DC characters that you guys want in a movie or to have a movie that's not like a popular character? That's not like like your main guys.
I got nothing.
I want to see them do Two-Face right for once.
I want.
Yeah.
I think
I was gonna say most of the things I'm thinking are villains.
I think your girl mentioned it in the comments earlier, Seth. But I want Poison Ivy to be back.
Yeah.
I want to get like if I can just picture Poison Ivy like in the new Batman world, like if they do where it's so dark and stuff, like I could see a Poison Ivy in that universe.
Yeah, make her really dangerous too, you
Mhm.
know. Because I mean, Uma Thurman did really good in Batman and Robin.
And
I
on
mean,
Long
she
Halloween, she like possesses Batman. So
yeah, and she had she possessed Superman in Hush, right?
yep,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, she is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Great character. I want to
Yeah.
see Jason Todd. I mean, Jason Todd's my favorite Robin. When I got into comics, Jason Todd was Robin. Then they killed him, and we voted for it.
the fans killed him.
Yes,
I think it's
So-
Jason Todd that fans have been talking about, but a lot of people have been wanting the guy who plays number 5 in Umbrella Academy.
I do not want him to be Robin ever.
Do not.
Nope, nope. He doesn't. He does not look the part, in my opinion. Just because he's got dark hair and he's a kid doesn't mean he can be Robin. I like him as the 58-year-old or whatever he is.
I think they're going more off of his ability to act for what age he is.
Yeah, he's a really good actor, but I don't want him to be Robin. I don't really have. I mean, they've actually the two actors they have in playing Robin in Titans are very, very good, and one of them is Jason Todd.
Yep, I was actually just going to mention that because they announced too this weekend that Jason Todd is going to become Red Hood in Titan season 3.
That's fantastic. I love Red Hood. The Under the Red Hood storyline in the comics. If I have a continuity, all my books are in a continuity for Batman, and it's a good sequel to Hush. The book, not the movie. The movie's okay for what it was. It just had to fit in that universe. One of
love
these
that
days
book.
we'll have to do a DC animated universe video. But yeah, I liked it too. I can't wait for the Long Halloween.
I like the kid that plays Jason Todd in Titans. I thought
Yeah.
he really embodies that character.
He does. I need
so
to watch that again.
We got a people in the comments that answered my question.
Okay.
Amber Foster said Martian Manhunter and Poison Ivy.
Ooh, John. He could be in the Snyder Cut.
Selena Ann Guarez, hopefully I'm saying that right, said
Juarez.
Captain Cold.
He's been in the the Flash show. That's the thing. I would love to see Green Arrow in a movie. They were supposed to make a Supermax movie, Escape from Supermax, years ago. I'd love to see that come to fruition. I doubt it. I really like Stephen Amell, but I also I don't want to see him with this ridiculous goatee and the Robin Hood hat. But I'd like to see Green Arrow. I really like him a lot, unless Batman-y, because that was basically like an amalgamation of Batman and Green Arrow, the show. And I mean, you even saw some of Batman's villains, but I'd like to see him more Green Arrow. He's more positive.
See, that was my thing because I don't know much about Green Arrow. I watched like 2-3 seasons of it, and the whole time I was watching, I was like, "This is Batman."
Well, I mean that's the character. That's the character since his inception is that he's always been a Batman knockoff, and
Yeah.
just like Batman, his history has changed over the years depending on who writes the character.
Yeah.
But at one
Right.
point, he was a wealthy man, and then he eventually lost his wealth and all that. And I
Amber,
thought the show did a pretty good job bringing in all the different takes and just kind of blending them together.
I got one. I got the question. I want to see the question with
Question.
Huntress. Yeah.
Amber also said
Question.
Dex Star.
Dex Star, the Red Lantern. He's a cat. Wears his Red Lantern ring on his tail. I could probably
Got a
pull
Red
that out real
Lantern right
fast.
here.
Indigo.
He's gonna be like, where'd that come from?
Where's Rage of the Red Lantern?
Was that?
I can't find it. Oh, hold on. Rage of the Red Lanterns.
I gotta read that.
Let's see if I. It's right there. Dex Star.
Okay, I've
There
seen
he
him
is. There's
before.
the cat. The Red Lantern ring on his tail. You can see it. Yeah, that's Dex Star.
If you guys watching can't
There's a
tell,
lot of things I like. I'd love to see the Red Lanterns pop up.
So if you guys watching can't tell, Ray and Seth are the DC people.
Yeah, I mean, I read other comics. By the way, Seth, this is still up in my room.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, so keep following Fandom Unlimited. We're gonna keep throwing stuff up on Facebook. We're gonna build a website that's gonna have all kinds of good content. Seth has already written a few things. I have too. We'll get Jared's ass writing again for the Horror Syndicate.
Jared, you can write about some kung fu films.
Please do. Well, if you guys want to do some quick final thoughts, starting with we'll go with Keith. Starting with Keith.
Oh gosh. No, I mean I'm not a very big DC
Final thoughts on Fandom.
person, so I mean I have seen all the DC movies so far except for Birds of Prey. I enjoy them all for the most part, but the Fandom event like made me super excited, especially with the Batman and the Snyder cut because I really like Snyder movies. I like his visual aspects of stuff and his music choices and how he lays things out. So I'm super excited for that. I've already got HBO Max ready to go. Excited for Batman, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I'm really excited to see Meth Head Rocket Raccoon. Talking about Weasel,
Yeah.
and the Suicide Squad game because that cinematic trailer was so fun.
It feels like it's a good time to be a DC fan. Seth, how about you?
That's what I was just gonna say. It's a good time to be a DC fan with everything that they announced.
Yeah.
Now, I grew up loving both DC and Marvel and Valiant, so I don't have a one or the other thing with them. But DC has been getting kicked in the nuts a lot over the last few years because there's this imaginary thing where they have to compete with Marvel.
They
Yeah.
were behind the game.
They were behind the game, and Warner Brothers made a lot of mistakes along the way. I feel like DC needed to have their own identity, but at the same time, they needed to have Marvel's patience and
Yes. I can't even
and
imagine what it would be like right now if they built it from the ground up.
well, yeah, and I mean they have to realize too that I mean not even a lot of the solo Marvel movies are not huge money makers, you know, especially like the Phase One movies. Besides
500 million or so.
Iron Man and the Avengers, the rest were they did well enough, and they I was hoping that they would realize that, you know, and just you know you don't have to count on uh, an Aquaman movie making whatever like 200 million or whatever. Just do it for a modest budget, put it out there, and build up all these
Like
characters.
Shazam.
Shazam, build up all these characters
Right.
before you dive into the team up, and
Mhm.
that's where they made the mistake.
Yeah. They
I like
rushed into it a little bit.
yeah. As far as like the what Snyder was building, I have no problem with that. I like Snyder. And from what I understand is that that animated movie that just came out, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, was inspired by where Snyder wanted to take the DC universe.
There's
And
three
that would have
movies,
been
three
fucking
Justice
epic.
League movies. Yeah, that'd have been awesome.
Yeah.
I loved Superman the way he was in that movie. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to talk about the DC uh, animated movies at some point. Jared, get some final thoughts.
I was very impressed by the Batman trailer. Um, I wasn't a huge fan of the Suicide Squad first movie too much, but just seeing the behind the scenes and the teaser that we got, like I'm really excited. Like I love James Gunn. Like I've been following him back since he was with Troma when he did Troma and Juliet and Slither, like Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn is a fucking amazing director, so I'm really stoked about his interpretation of that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Wonder
I think
Wonder
Suicide
Woman
Squad.
looks fun too. Like I'm not sure if there's like going to be some continuity issues with that movie, but like
We'll see.
it's fun. Sounds fun.
That's the
Looks
other
fun.
thing that I think's important is people need to stop taking movies so seriously and just have fun with them. For the love of God, stop comparing them to everything known to man. Just watch the movie for what it is and have fun with it. Damn it!
Listen, I can't stop comparing it to the actual comic book content. Okay, I can't do it.
I know you can't. And that's another difference too. Ray and Seth are comic book people. Like that's what they are.
Yeah.
I'm a movie watcher and a video game player. When I watch a movie, I'm not looking at the source material and the what I read on a page. I'm going off movies. So that's the thing too. A lot of people don't think about that when they're talking to people about these movies. They don't think about where they're coming from with them.
Yeah, I think you're right, and and everybody knows everything now on the internet. That's why I don't pay attention to most people. But I'm excited. DC fandom made me happy during a United States pandemic. I'm calling it that from now on. It The whole day was just one right after another, hit after hit after hit for me,
Yeah.
and
I'm over
I
here like
mean,
download, download, download.
yeah, I gotta thank Keith for putting up all the trailers on Fandom Unlimited. That's why you need to follow us because we're gonna have the trailers for these movies.
Hey,
You know
I had
when they
some of
come
them
out.
up before they had them on their official Facebook page. I felt proud about
Yes, he
myself.
did within minutes. Yeah, so yeah, that's why you need to follow us. But as for me, more than anything, I'm excited about the Snyder cut, without a doubt. I was okay with Justice League when it came out, but I mean, I'm really interested to see what Snyder has in store for us. But after that, it's Batman all day long for me. I love Batman. I've got like 80 different graphic novels of Batman, and my top 10, The Dark Knight Returns is not in the top 10. Anyway, thanks for joining us on our first ever episode of FU Live. Come back next week, next Thursday. We're going to have a fresh show, new topics. We're kind of going to go with the flow of the news. And if there's nothing, if it's a slow news week, we'll talk about other interests of ours. Like I know we all love Rambo. Maybe not Keith. I don't know for sure. But action movies and different comics we like, different video games we like. How obsessive I am over the Red Dead Redemption 2 game. Things like that. So thanks again for joining us. Check us out on the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We've got 23 subscribers. Let's make it 24. Can we do it? And don't forget to share us with your friends if you like what's going on here. If you like chatting with us, and we read the comments. We read the comments. And if you're into horror and you're not following the Horror Syndicate, what the hell are you doing?
What is wrong with you?
Go to the Horror Syndicate now. Anyway, thanks again for hanging out with us and chiming in. We will see you next Thursday with an all-new show. For Seth, Keith, and Jared, and Todd, thanks again. We'll see you next week.